against the wall. I'm never giving up, I give my all. I'm never looking back, attack, it's in the past. Stand up, stand up, stand up. You ain't ready for me. Give me your best shot, the stronger I stand. Not looking for a step.
So, Liana, what do you want to talk about?
Like, seriously? Do you want to know what I want to talk about?
We're going to talk about everything tonight. What do you want to talk about?
Just how hard it is to be transgender and sober.
You know, I got to
like,
agree with that because there's like 2 transgender people at my work. And, like, both of them do, like, something. One of them smokes pot, and the other one drinks heavily, so...
Like, everybody I know drinks.
I don't know a sober transgender. Other than you.
Yeah, I don't, like literally, like, I know, like, maybe 5 people who are sober who happen to be transgender. But we don't interact. We're like, I know them from like Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, you go through so much alone being transgender that when you do go out, they want to go out and they want to drink, and it's just awkward.
I mean,
like,
I'm also that guy that, like, when I go to the bar with my buddies, they're all, like, smashing shots and shit. I'm the guy steadily drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, but, like, the thing is there's that added pressure of being transgender as well. You know, it's like, you know, you don't fit in to begin with, and then you come out, and then you find a group of people, and then you don't fit in with them because all they want to do is drink. You know what I mean? Like, I can hang out with them, but I'm the odd girl out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the one sitting over in the corner, not drinking, and I can't have a conversation with you because all you want to do is, you know, it's the whole getting fucked up, you know.
It's also like, it's kind of like how it is in the South, though. Like, you can't fit in with, like, if you're Southern and, like, a little bit of redneck, you don't really fit in with that crowd either because all they do is, like, drink and fight. And I'm like, I'll stay at home and listen to my podcast and play my video games and watch wrestling. Like, I'm over here, I'll check out. I'm going to go off the grid for a little bit. Like, I will say, though, one topic for this podcast tonight, and you can attest to this just like I can. People don't quit jobs, they quit management, right? And I learned tonight at my job, I have a very solid management team that cares about me. And, like, here's why. This is going to sound very stupid. So today I was an hour late to work. I had some technical difficulty, shit was going on, and I'm never late. I have not missed a day. I've never been late. And I've been there over 3 months, and I'm fixing to get promoted again. Well, this morning I was an hour late, and I didn't respond to anybody for an hour because I was trying to get my shit fixed. And when I finally got to work, got all that shit situated, I looked at my phone, I'd got like 7 missed calls from like 7 different managers. And none of them were like, why are you not there? All of them were like, are you okay? And I was just like, that spoke volumes to me because every other job I've ever been at, I've always been looked at as just another body. And at this job, like, granted, yeah, it's food service, but like, this job, they care about, like, me as a person. And that speaks volumes because I'm like, I tell everybody now, you need a job, go here because this is where it's at. Like, granted, yeah, pay might not be the best, but
my old job, I felt like I was just another body after the fact because they kept telling me that I was going to be a manager. I was going to be a manager. I was going to be a manager. And then I finally got to the, like, not applying for, but like, you're the next in line to be manager kind of thing. And they're like, no, you have to wait another 5 months. And I'm like, I'm 50. I don't want to be a cashier for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I legitimately walked out. And when I walked out, 3 days later, I was like, I'm done. And and I 3 weeks later, I got the job at the place that I'm at now, and that manager had me feeling like a a turd in a punch bowl. And then he got fired, and my new manager came in, and my district manager, I met my district manager, and then I met my new store manager, and I'm like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I started reflecting their goodness onto my employees,
Yeah. See,
because
like,
I want my employees to like, and my employees tell me all the time, you're so laid back, you're so cool, and they know I'm a manager. I'll joke with them, I'll play around with them,
mm-hmm.
you know, I you know I I just like I listen to music on my last hour. I'm very laid back about the phone policy. I'm like, if you have an emergency, just let me know while you're on your phone. You
Yeah.
know, like I'd rather you not be on your phone, but if you're on your phone for a reason, please let me know. I'm not going to be a complete bitch about it.
Yeah, I can honestly, that's like the one problem I haven't ran into in a long, because, so like, what people don't know is, like, outside of like podcasts and shit like that, I'm a manager at a certain food store that no one out pizzas. And so a lot of the times, like, some crew members, like, when I first started, they were like, I don't know if they were like pushing my buttons to see how far they could like push me before I put my foot down, but like there's a few people that like to be on their phones all the time. And finally one day I was like, dude, if you gonna be on your phone, go to the back. Like, get away from like the customers and get away from the food. Like, be on the back and then wash your hands and then come do whatever you gotta do. But like now, like, I only on like super dead days where like we're standing there for like 2 to 3 hours without an order. That's when I'll see people like mess on their phones, and I'm like, as long as everything's done, I don't care. Like, if we're just waiting on orders, bro, play a podcast. Let's go. Like,
Yeah, like I think it was yesterday, he was on his phone. He's like, I had to ask her a question. I'm like, dude, you're good. Like, you're a really good employee. You're like, I I yes. I'm sorry. One of my games just downloaded
what?
on Steam. Out of the park baseball.
It's not a bad one. It's one of the only baseball
Yeah,
games
I've
they
got
have on Steam too. They do not have like their
what?
sports games on Steam like are like football and soccer. Like, they don't even have, I mean, and wrestling. But like, they don't have UFC, they don't have baseball, they don't have hockey on Steam. The hockey's not on a PC, period. You have to, like, baseball, you have to have Xbox Game Pass. So, which I think I
So
still have Game Pass.
I finally got my controller.
Hell yeah.
I
I'm gonna,
finally got it hooked up.
I'm gonna pull up my Game Pass real fast to see if I still have it. Because if I still have it, we could play baseball together through Parsec.
Are you on Steam?
No, Xbox. It's the same thing. Like, I can still invite you through. It's it's a difficult process. I'll show it to you later. So we had some conversations last week about potentially moving our podcast to not just YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and all that good business. We were talking about bringing it to a certain website. We were talking about bringing it to Fubar. Any movement on that? Like, are we gonna? That's still in the works.
Well, I think that the thing is like we have to, like, we're doing the podcast now. The thing is that we would have to do one of two things. We would have to find a way to live broadcast it, which is my preferred way to do it, or go ahead and make it to where the podcast is run by, we send the podcast to somebody and they run it.
Yeah. I mean, I got all sorts of software. I could probably get it done. I just got to know, like, exactly what to do, how to do it, and then I can put puzzle pieces together.
So for all those people who are watching our podcast and not listening to it, when you're watching our podcast, you'll notice last week we were on Facebook and this week we're on Zoom. This is the
Preferred.
preferred
Yeah,
method
preferred
of
method.
video podcast. It's not the only way, but it's the preferred one.
So,
And it's the one that I tried to get him to do for like ages,
hey,
and
we
he
tried.
wouldn't do it.
We
And
tried
then
last
finally,
week.
oh, last week it was garbage. It was garbage last week.
We got all sorts of shit falling at my desk and whatnot. I don't know, you are snapping at me like that, but so a lot has happened in actually not a lot has happened in wrestling this week actually, other than big matches. SummerSlam was booked.
Is that like official?
Jay and Roman for the strap and for the Tribal Chief title. Trial by combat.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I'm excited.
Did you catch SmackDown? I didn't watch it, but I watched that 40-minute
I didn't catch
segment.
SmackDown. I didn't catch SmackDown, but I saw like what happened.
Yeah, that 40-minute segment of Trial of the Tribal Chief. That was the
And then
longest segment in history.
And then Jay saying that, he's the judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah, and he's all
holding
like,
on to his title.
Yeah, and he's like, it's trial by combat now. I'm going to whoop your ass one more time. Jay's also doing some sneaky rock shit too. Like I don't know if you watched the Money in the Bank. He hit Solo. He was like wham, wham, reached up to the spit in the hand and then bow.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then he hit the rock bottom on Roman. And then like this past Friday, fucking Solo hits the rock bottom, and I'm like, all right, what's happening? Because there's a lot of shots at the Rock going on now. Like. Also, if you're an AEW fan, like I am, I got to sit at work the other day and watch my favorite match or my favorite rivalry in Ring of Honor history come to life 18 years later. CM Punk and Samoa Joe went at it in the Owen Hart Cup tournament.
I heard.
And that match was a banger. Samoa Joe and Punk tore the house down.
Speaking of AEW, there's a certain website that we used to watch wrestling on that's no longer around.
Which one? Is it Watch Wrestling or Baked? Because I know Baked's still around. I used Baked yesterday.
Watch Pro Wrestling is gone.
Oh yeah, it's watchwrestling.in now. They have to change up their URL like every once in a while. No, I'll make sure it's still watchwrestling.in. Let me. Yeah, it's watchwrestling.in. It literally pulled up for me. Like. You can tell we're big like wrestling fans because we're like, wait a minute here. She's pulling it up. We're having technical difficulty. She's wanting to make sure that it's actually going to work for. Also, shout out to Eddie Kingston finally winning a title in 2023. He won the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship. Took it from Kenta. It was a very emotional moment because he finally won a title in Japan. Even though I'm waiting for him to say that it's not the title that he really wanted because, like, he didn't get any of the good ones. Also, I have not seen the Cody promo from Monday, but I've been hearing that it was really good. So if you want to watch that right now, I will definitely share my screen and we can watch Cody. I just got to make sure it's going to work. So we're going to test this out real fast.
Hold on a second.
Oh, you disabled that, so hold on.
I have to make you a co-host.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm going to pull this up. Also, we got one more thing to talk about, too. We got a little bit of beef to talk about that's happening in the wrestling world. So, we'll talk about that in a moment. Alright, hold on, give me a second here. I gotta find out. Zoom, share screen.
Do I want to play WWE Supercard?
I just would not. Alright, I gotta make sure this is working first before I... Where's Streamlabs at? Right here. Okay. I guess it's...
I have to go for a minute. Hold on.
Oh, you're fine. I gotta try to see if this is gonna work at all.
So...
Yeah, that's not working. Alright, so we're gonna go back to that. She's walking away. So, people that listen to this podcast, we do have plans to move to various locations on where we're going to try to do this little where we do this whole beautiful thing at. We're going to try to move into FUBAR and stuff like that, but also we're going to talk about, look at all that collection back there. When you guys are like watching this, or if you're reading this, if you're listening to it, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But if you're watching this, if you look behind her, you just see like a huge collection of movies and like hockey stuff and stuff like that. But over on the other side of the wall is just wrestling memorabilia out the wazoo. And it's pretty great, to be honest with you. So, she has a lot of wrestling memorabilia. But also, we're going to talk about the beef that's going on
19.
with Kevin Nash and L.A. Knight. So, I'm trying to see exactly on when they talk about that. Play this audio right here. So, we'll see if it loads. But while that's loading, let's just talk about the fact that Liana's just hanging out in that folding chair and not a... Oh, no, she's got a rolly chair. I thought she was back in that folding chair. I was like, damn, son. The world is on fire. This girl is on fire. Judgment Day showed up on NXT. That was a pretty big thing. I haven't watched NXT yet, but I know that it happened. Also, if you guys are on multiple platforms here, follow me on TikTok at Freakzilla20. No capital letters or anything like that. Follow me there. Follow me on Twitter as well. I gotta pull up what my Twitter even is. At ZeroGaming0727. Oh, that's right. The DLC for 2K23 drops next week. The Revel with Wyatt pack, where you get Joe Gacy with a, for some reason, glowing mask. Also, drop in the comments below on what y'all's thoughts are on Gunther and Drew McIntyre. That whole storyline's going to be happening at SummerSlam. Also, big things. SummerSlam's in Detroit for the first time, like, ever, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they've ever been in Detroit for SummerSlam. I think the last time they were in Detroit for a premium live event, I think, was WrestleMania 23. So, I'm mad, dude. I swear to God. I can't believe they did that. I'm mad they just gave away the season pass on Twitter. Granted, it wasn't a lot of them, but, like, it's still... But yeah, we're also going to try to do some stuff on TikTok for videos and whatnot. But to do that, I have to have 1,000 followers, and I'm at 826, so... Get it done, guys. Fucking at Freakzilla20 on TikTok. Oh, here she comes. She's slowly making her way back. Coming down the aisle. Weighing in at 175 pounds. Wearing black with flowers. Representing the De Leon legacy. Liana De Leon! What are you doing?
If I weighed 175 pounds, I would be much skinnier.
I wasn't going to estimate your weight.
Now that I've completely ruined the podcast.
No, I talked to him the whole time. I was telling him to follow us on platforms and whatnot. And then talking about the fact that SummerSlam's going to be in Detroit for the first time since, like, WrestleMania 23 in Ford Field. Yes. But... So let's talk about some wrestling business while we're on this podcast, because if we don't talk about wrestling, some people are going to be like, I thought this was a wrestling podcast, so let's wrestle with some of this.
It is a wrestling podcast.
It is. So,
y'all don't want to watch, y'all don't want to do a watch along with some of the shit that I watch.
That's a fair statement. You know what you know what? I can't wait until the 2K thing is going to where, like, because, like, I've been getting the legends going and getting them all set up, and one day we're going to sit here, we're going to make 2 rosters, and we're going to book some shows. We could also do that TW, we can't do TW, I don't know TW anymore, but we can do Pro Wrestling Sim, and all you got to have for that is TeamViewer, so.
The other thing is without talking about it, if that thing we talked about before the podcast works out, you have access to
oh yeah, no, I know
a lot of footage.
We got some possible big news coming up in the next few months, because this podcast could be emanating live from St. Petersburg, Florida. Either way,
from 2 different rooms.
Yeah, either way, like, whether it's moving or if, like, we come visit one day, like, we're gonna do a live podcast. Like,
the thing is like, I need to figure out how to get my VHS player to sync up to my computer and actually have the audio track go with, like, their mouths.
yeah, you need to upgrade the computer first. As soon as you get the computer upgraded, then we can talk about getting some of that other shit going. Because with you riding a dinosaur still, like, yeah, you gotta do some of that.
But
first.
the thing is like, I gotta transfer all my music off of here.
Well, that's easy. All you gotta do is set up a drive, and all you gotta do is have an external hard drive, and then just take all those files over, put them on the external hard drive, and then plug them into the new computer, and they're all there. That's the beauty of rocking an external. The possibility of us doing this from Fubar is pretty exciting too.
Yeah, I definitely want to make it happen. I just don't know how. Like I don't know how like we have to get the audio file transferred to me and then have me someone run it for us because I can't do it while I'm at work.
So like if we
Or or we could do it live, but we have to find out how to get it from the Zoom audio from Zoom to Sam's broadcaster, and then we'll be fine.
send me the link for Sam's broadcaster, and I'll mess with it a little bit and see what I can't get
There's
figured
no
out.
link. It's a program.
Yeah, like how do you get the program is the question.
Okay, hold on. I have to get you a program.
If you can give me a program, I can mess around with it and try to see.
Hold on just a second. Okay, so this is that is Sam Broadcaster.
Holy fuck. Okay, so how did you get that?
How did I get what?
Sam's broadcaster, how did you get it is the question.
Somebody gave it to me.
I could probably
So I
find
had to
it.
get somebody I had to get somebody to give it to you so that you can do this where it says encoders.
Oh yeah. So all we'd have to do, so how that would work is because so when I make the podcast, it saves to a file just like that, and all I'd have to do is take that file and drop it in that encoder, and it would play that whole file.
Yeah. But then the other thing is that there's also the possibility of us doing it live.
Oh, if we do it live, all we have to do is like technically all we have to do is be in that like that is that how your voice is like?
We have to get an audio pipeline. Called audio pipeline,
Yeah.
which I know how to use them, but I don't know how to use Zoom to Sam's broadcaster. If I had an audio pipeline from Zoom to Sam's broadcaster, I'm gonna have to go look that up.
I could probably. I'll do some research. Like after this podcast, if you stick around a little bit, I can fuck around with some shit, dig around, and see what we can't find, and see if we can't, if I can't ingenious some shit and do a little sparkle, and make it.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. I know. Oh
Whoa,
crap!
whoa! Bray Wyatt's messing with your camera. Whoa! Bray Wyatt done showed up. Revel in what you are. Oh, there we go. She made a reappearance.
So I know you don't like Bret Hart. I know that you think he's a bitter old man and all that, but I have to ask you, what is the one match that you like of Bret
You
Hart's?
can make some of that chicken. You can make some of that chicken, then I'll make. If you wait, I'll make it after this podcast. But if you wait, you can go ahead and make you some chicken. Okay. Okay. All right. So what about Brett?
What is the one match that you're like, that was a good match?
Brett and Sean from WrestleMania 12.
Is that not the best match ever?
That's
Like,
that's
even
literally like
as
the best Iron
as
match
a
in
Bret
history.
fan, huh?
That's the best Iron Man match in history.
Yes, it is. That is like even as a Bret fan and Sean winning the match. By the way, if you haven't seen it, Sean wins.
Spoiler alert.
Um, but it's a great it's a great story going into it, and it's a great story how the match ends.
Now the story doesn't even
And I
end there
love it.
either. Like
Right?
the story doesn't end there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just that match
Yeah,
alone
yeah, yeah, yeah.
stands the test of time. Like it's one of the best. I think it's one of the best matches ever, and I think Brett and Sean. That's probably, and that is the most technical match I've ever seen Sean wrestle.
That and
Ever.
probably Brett and Owen from 10 and Brett and Diesel at the Survivor
Royal
Series.
Rumble,
Was it the Rumble? The cage match?
92. I
Yeah.
think it was 92.
Yeah, that cage match was really good too. I was kind of mad at the finish because Brett was being very egotistical about how that match was supposed to end, and Undertaker had to tell him, "Well, everything's not fucking about you, is it?" So, because the finish was Brett took the power bomb, and like as he went to get pinned, Taker comes up from under the ring, pulls Diesel in, and then Brett ends up winning. And then we go to Diesel and Taker at WrestleMania, the same Mania that you get Brett and Shawn. But he didn't want to take the finish because he didn't want to look like he was going to get beat. That was like a big thing on one of Kevin Nash's shoot interviews, like back before he did Click This, was he talked about Brett doing that. I have a disdain for Bret Hart, yes, but I don't have a disdain for his in-ring work. I have a disdain for his views. Like, in the shit, like, he wasn't as bad as Hogan for some of the shit he did, but, like, he still equally tried to pull some shit and be like, I got the stroke. And, like, no, you had the stroke to
Oh,
keep everyone underpaid.
Hogan with his creative control with the
That
whole Jeff
doesn't
Jarrett
work for me,
situation.
brother.
That
That doesn't work for me, brother. If this were real, brother. Fucking Booker T on the biggest night of his
so
career.
let's go ahead and go to that Cody promo.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. So it's not letting me share the screen and like be shown on on Streamlabs. So I don't know if Streamlabs is gonna show this or not.
So,
But here we go.
Buffalo,
I can't hear it.
what do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, that's probably. Yep. Hold on.
You didn't share the sound.
Yep.
You gotta click on share sound.
Yep. I'm stupid. Hold on. Shut up.
So, Buffalo, what do you guys want to talk about? I know on the other side of that lens there's millions of people. If you're sitting at home watching, forgive me, indulge me. I'm going to turn my back ever so briefly because I want to see everybody here tonight.
The screen just went white.
Hold on.
I see you.
What about now? Are you
I
back
see
now?
Can't see it.
YouTube, you dirty bastard. I don't think YouTube's gonna let me share the screen. That or yeah, their Zoom is not gonna let me share the screen. So basically what he does is he cuts his promo and he talks about how at every turn Brock Lesnar has been messing with him. And why is this not? I hate this thing so much. And here we go. We're going to try this again and see if this works. Okay, alright, we're back. So, anyway, Cody lays down the promo, and he's talking about how every time he turns around, Brock Lesnar's there to, like, screw him. And, he challenges Brock to a match at SummerSlam. And he just waits. Brock's supposed to be there next week to answer. So it's the rubber match. Brock's won, Cody's won. It's Brock and Cody 3. This man is putting on trilogies with everyone he fights. Him and Seth win a trilogy. Him and Lesnar's about to go on a trilogy. He's not going to have a trilogy with Dominic because he squashed Dominic. But what are your thoughts on Cody's run since he debuted or returned at WrestleMania 38? Or 37. This is 38.
I've enjoyed it. I really have.
I will say I think he's had some of the biggest pops I've ever seen. So I think especially with him finally getting that theme song to do what he wanted it to do, because he's been trying to get people to catch on to the whoa since he like debuted it All In. So speaking of that, All In London is looking to break the WrestleMania 3 attendance record. They're at like 88,000 right now. And they just opened up another 15,000 seats. So, from what I read, I don't know how much of that is true. But, hopefully, the other thing that I read isn't true, because apparently they're having problems with it getting on pay-per-view. So, because I'd hate for them to have a 90,000 seated arena event and not be able to let that be shown. That would blow big donkey wiener. What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to get the promo.
Oh. Also, tonight is the last night for this homeless man look. Because tomorrow morning I'm going to go get my hair trimmed. I'm going to get my beard trimmed. Not the actual ponytail. The ponytail's staying the way it is. I'm going to cut off the dead ends, though. But I'm going to shave the sides, and I'm going to have him line up the beard, so it's going to be a great time. While Liana tries to get that. Oh! Liana starts sharing her screen. Alright, yep. Alright, we're still good. Roll with it.
Buffalo! What do you guys want to talk about? I know on the other side of that lens there's millions of people. If you're sitting at home watching, forgive me, indulge me. I'm going to turn my back ever so briefly because I want to see everybody here tonight. I see you. Hopefully you see me. Sometimes it can feel like there's this invisible wall between the seats and where I stand in the ring, this divide, but for me it doesn't feel that way. It feels like you are in this ring with me, and I know that's a dangerous place, so thank you very much. But the reason it feels like that, and it doesn't feel performative, is because what I am telling you and what I have been telling you since I returned.
Nope.
What the hell?
Oh.
I returned is real. We're not just talking career goals, we're talking life goals. You know, the other day, I was in the United Kingdom and a man asked me at a press event, he said, how do you feel about your momentum? This question has haunted me, as my answer has as well. I answered honestly, politely, a bit cagey. I cited all of you. I cited WWE Universe. I cited the fans. I said, hey, look, every city, it's sold out. Every crowd, louder and louder. Every metric that you could judge me by, I'm right there. Well, I'm doing okay. But Eddie persisted, and why my answer bothered me so much, I would have told him. I said, okay, my momentum in the ring, it's a little bit shaky. And the reason it's shaky is because of the mountain that stands in front of me. A mountain that I cannot go over, I cannot go under, I cannot go around. You either go through it or you don't go at all. I think you know what I'm referring to, who I'm referring to. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is not here tonight. He didn't think Buffalo was worth the trip. Surprised me last week, and I've been told that Brock will be here next week. But here is my discovery about Mr. Lesnar. Everybody has a Brock Lesnar. Everybody. You name it. Fear of heights, Brock Lesnar. Crippling anxiety, Brock Lesnar. Student debt, Brock Lesnar. Your terrible boss, Brock Lesnar. I watched a woman in the Georgia Marathon 10 feet away from the finish line. Took a wrong turn, Brock Lesnar. We all have a Brock Lesnar. That thing that is impeding us from the most important step we can take. Albeit my Brock Lesnar, 6'3", 285 pounds, a walking billboard for Darwinism and natural selection. But what's that quote, right? Some men see the things the way they are and they say why, and others dream things they've never seen and say why not. I want to be the latter because what I dream is a rubber match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Ooh.
Brock Lesnar, nothing would make me happier than next week if you came to this ring, if you shook my hand, if you knew that this wasn't personal, if you honored me by being my opponent at SummerSlam, and even if you don't shake my hand, we're gonna play the same game. I'm gonna pop you in the side of the ear, I'm gonna hit you with chairs, I'm gonna pick up steps, I'm gonna finish the chapter that you started for no damn reason. The reason is simple. Why would anyone want another match with Brock Lesnar? Why do I have to have another match with Brock Lesnar? It's because what comes from that fight, what emerges from that cloud of dust is simple. That guy is next in line, and the prince doesn't want to be the prince forever. I will be next in line.
You could see the fire in the eyes of the American Nightmare. You could hear the fire in Cody.
And that's why he is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. That was an excellent promo by Cody. So, alright, let's run down the SummerSlam card so far. So we know Roman and Jay for the strap. We know Cody and Brock, because you know Brock's going to say yes. And I'm sure that'll be a stipulation match. Because it's going to be the trilogy fight. This has to be like, it can't end in a one-on-one. It's got to be like a street fight or a cell or something. Drew and Gunther which I'm kind of if it Drew's the guy that takes the strap from Gunther, I'll be all right with it. I don't think Drew needs it, but when he came back in Money in the Bank, kicked his fucking head off, I was sold with it. And it's funny because SummerSlam's still like a month out. And like I want to say, hold on, I gotta look up when All in London is before I say this because.
By the way, I'm not really sure what's going on, but Judgment Day is apparently falling apart.
Oh yeah, so Damian Priest won the Money in the Bank, and Finn Balor blamed his loss on Priest. And so they had like a little spit back and forth, and Rhea made them apologize, shake hands, and move on. And then Priest goes, Balor, you're the next world champion. But if not, and he holds up the briefcase, we got it covered. Yeah, like they all walk away, and then Balor's like, the fuck did he mean by that? And I was like, clearly he means like it's gonna be in Judgment Day, you dipshit. Like, so All In is August 27th. Remember that date, August 27th. SummerSlam is August 5th. Okay, that's why they're building it right now, because they got less than. Still though, like a little bit over a month for All In, and we still don't have like. It's kind of. If I'm AEW, I'm a little scared because like August 27th they have All In London, and then the next weekend they have All Out Chicago.
So speaking of AEW. The only way I can watch AEW is that watchwrestling.in, which is not, the links aren't working. What's the other one that you talked about?
Baked.live, but that you have to watch that live. They don't have, Baked.live is not a, library. What do you mean it's not working? Hold on. Let me pull it up and see if it doesn't, like, take me to another.
The links aren't working.
Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Watchwrestling.ai.
Yeah, it's not working.
.ai? It's
okay.
not working?
Yeah, so watch Raw, right?
No, watchwrestling.ai.
I'm on Watch Raw. I'm on Watch Raw, and then I click Part 1, and it goes to an article about NASA is developing its own.
Oh yeah.
Chat
Yeah.
GPT.
Now up at the top it says go to the video link. Click that button. This will take you to the actual
And
video.
it says is Demon Knight on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's gonna say that.
There's no wrestling.
Click the video. Like click play.
I'm waiting.
Because I'm going to do it while you're doing it. Hold on. Watch wrestling. Watch Raw, part 1. Please wait. Go to video link. Yeah, it's Demon Knight on HBO Max. Yeah. Load. Click play. And that's the Raw intro. You just gotta wait for it to load. Your internet's also like not the best in the world.
No, I have great internet. It's the computer.
It's the dinosaur. See, I even heard the Raw intro, so I know that's Raw. So we got big plans for the podcast in the next month or so. Big things big things popping, little shit stopping. I'm pretty excited for this, where this podcast could go. I'm gonna get us some merch started. So hopefully by the end of next week we'll have merch going up. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try to get this 2K thing going. And like I said, as soon as this podcast is done with, we'll have more of a conversation about that. Actually, we can have it here. So, this 2K game, WWE 2K22, I have, I can get all of the theme songs from like all the actual wrestlers and stuff like that. Get all the wrestlers in the game and whatnot. I just need a list from you of people you would like in the game. And I know you've already sent me some. Yeah.
By the way, before I forget, if you are a wrestler, if you're even on the indie scene and you're just getting started, we would love to have you on the podcast.
Absolutely.
If you need to get paid and it's reasonable, we can look into it. We're also looking for sponsors, and just email us at
drwprowrestling@gmail.com, and we will get to you as soon as possible. So actually, I want to say that I had a outstanding email that I was going to show you.
I wanted to let everybody know that, and I'm going to let you know, the person in WWE that I told you may possibly be on the podcast said that they had to wait.
Okay. There's a good chance I could be getting Colby Carino in here soon.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Colby, but yeah, whatever. But
It would bring notoriety to our podcast.
yeah,
Now, if he could get his dad, that'd be different.
I don't see Steve doing it, but that would be nice. I'm also going to get a few guys from the gym to jump on. As soon as I get back to the gym, we're going to have my trainer, Ivan Warsaw, in here. Also, if you guys are not familiar with Ivan Warsaw, please go look up TSW Wrestling and look up SWE back when they were a thing. Because he had countless wars with Enzo Amore, Rodney Mack, and he's just been really kicking ass as of late. Well, they got a show going on next week, I believe, in South Texas. But we're going to wrap things up here for this podcast because we're going to have more to talk about in the next couple of weeks, especially if certain things unfold. But it's time for discussions with Liana about furthering some progress on things. So, we will see you guys next time.